Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel on maritime safety. Today, we're tackling a scenario that every mariner hopes they never have to face: a delayed man overboard or mob situation. Unlike an immediate mob, where you see the person go overboard and can react instantly, a delayed mob is when you realize someone is missing sometime after the fact. This could be minutes or even longer. In these critical situations, you can't just turn the boat around. You need a systematic search plan, and that's where specific maneuvers come into play. Let's start with one of the most classic and reliable methods: the Williamson turn. Imagine you're on watch and you get a report that a crew member was last seen about 10 minutes ago. You suspect they might have gone overboard, but you're not exactly sure when or where. The Williamson turn is your go-to maneuver here. Its primary purpose is to put your vessel on a course that is exactly 180 degrees opposite to your original track. Essentially, you'll be sailing back over the same water you just covered, which is crucial for a search. So, how do you execute it? Let's say your original course is 090, or due east. The moment the mob is confirmed, you immediately put the rudder hard over to one side, let's say to starboard. You keep turning until the ship's heading has changed by about 60 degrees from your original course. In our example, that would be a heading of 150. As soon as you hit that 60-degree mark, you shift the rudder hard over to the opposite side, in this case, to port. You then hold this turn. The vessel will continue to swing around, and you'll steady up when your heading is the exact reciprocal of your original course, which would be 270 or due west. The beauty of the Williamson turn is its precision. If done correctly, you end up on a track that is very close to, if not directly on top of, your original path. This makes it an excellent starting point for a search, especially if the time since the incident is relatively short, say less than 15 or 20 minutes. It works well in most weather conditions and is particularly effective at night or in reduced visibility when you can't see the person in the water. It gives you the best chance of retracing your steps to find the location where the incident likely occurred. However, it does take you a considerable distance away from the mob position before you start heading back, which is a key trade-off to consider. Now, let's discuss another maneuver, the Charnot turn. This one is designed for a slightly different scenario. Picture this. You've been sailing for a good while, maybe half an hour or more, before you realize someone is missing. Your vessel has traveled a significant distance from the potential mob location. In this case, turning back as quickly and efficiently as possible is the top priority. The Charnot turn is often faster and covers less distance than the Williamson turn to get you back on a reciprocal course. Here's how it works. Again, the moment you decide to turn back, you put the rudder hard over to one side. Let's stick with starboard. Unlike the Williamson turn, you don't stop at 60 degrees. You keep that hard over rudder and let the ship swing all the way around until it has turned 240 degrees from its original course. So, if we started on course 090, we would turn until we reach a heading of 330. Once you hit that 240 degree point, you shift the rudder to the opposite side port, in this case, and steady up on your reciprocal course of 270. So, why choose the Charnot over the Williamson? The main advantage is time. Because it involves a more direct turn, the Charnot turn gets you pointed back toward the search area faster and you lose less ground in the process. It's the most efficient turning method for getting back onto your reciprocal track when a considerable amount of time has passed since the person went into the water. However, it has a major limitation. You cannot use the Charnot turn if you perform the turn immediately after the incident. The maneuver is calculated based on the ship's turning characteristics, and if you haven't traveled far enough, you'll end up in the wrong place. It's specifically for situations where the time elapsed since the mob is greater than the time it takes for your vessel to complete a full 360-degree turn. Let's compare them side by side to make it clearer. The Williamson turn is your reliable, all-weather choice for when you suspect a mob happened a short time ago. It puts you right back on your previous track, making it ideal for low visibility. Its downside is that it takes you further away from the scene before you begin your return leg. The Charnot turn, on the other hand, is the faster, more efficient option for when a significant amount of time has passed. It saves precious minutes in getting the vessel turned around. But remember, it's not for immediate action scenarios. Choosing between these two turns depends entirely on the situation, specifically how long it's been since the person was last seen. If it's a just now or a few minutes ago situation, you'd likely use an immediate action turn like the Anderson or Buttersby turn. But for a delayed discovery, it's a judgment call between the Williamson and the Charnot. If the time is short, the Williamson is a safe bet. If considerable time has passed, the Charnot will get you back into the search area more quickly. Of course, executing these turns is just the first step. Once you're on the reciprocal course, you begin a search pattern, like an expanding square or a sector search, depending on the available information about the last known position. We'll cover those search patterns in another video. The key takeaway today is that in a delayed mob, you don't just turn around. You execute a planned maneuver to establish a search. Knowing when and how to perform a Williamson or a Charnot turn is a critical skill that can make all the difference. Practice these on your vessel, understand its turning characteristics, and have a plan ready. It's the kind of knowledge you hope you'll never need, but you'll be incredibly grateful you have it if you do. Thank you for watching. We hope this information was valuable. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, please leave a comment below. Stay safe out there, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on maritime safety. See you next time.